We'll replay it.
Welcome back inside the Footprint Center. If you're watching from home or you are here at the Footprint Center, I hope you are having a great time here at the championships in Phoenix. We have got a very, very fun match coming at you. This is the 5th place round in Phoenix. Let's meet the two teams who are here to entertain you. This first guy, now, okay, so listen, you do whatever you need to do, buddy. I am into it. I love it. Look at, I don't know if you call that a crop top. I mean, it's got the Arizona flag on there with the volleyball. Huh? You were the match after Zana, so you needed to show up a little bit. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the ever entertaining, he is here for a good time, and we are here to enjoy it with him. Let me hear it for the high-flying Troy Field. And his partner out of Encinitas, California, longtime basketball and volleyball player. Played in the NBA, played right here in Phoenix for your Phoenix Suns, ladies and gentlemen. He is an absolutely insane athlete. He is Seabud Chase Budinger. And their opponents, is this guy, is this the next iteration of the incredible, tall, big-time, big dude from the USA? I think it might be you. Ladies and gentlemen, he already stands real tall, and then he gets out of the sand, and he's starting to hit things at like a Phil Dalhouser angle. It is so fun to watch. Let me hear it from Mr. Andy Benesh. And his partner out of Newbury Park, California. What a fantastic career we have had the honor to watch, ladies and gentlemen. For almost 2 decades, he has been entertaining us. He has been talking to us in the crowd while he's on the court, winning 18 AVP titles, 14 of those coming very, very recently. A guy who just keeps getting better. His personality, his smile just keeps getting better. He is a guy you absolutely love to love. You cannot help but root for the one, the only Phoenix for Mr. Casey Patterson.
All right, welcome into the booth. My name is Rich Lamborn. I'll be here with you for this amazing match here for 5th and 6th place in this Phoenix Championships. Man, what a great intro from Mark Sherman. The guy you love to love, Casey Patterson. We're likely looking at his final match as a professional on the AVP, and what a career it's been. It's going to be an honor to witness this one. The hair's flowing. He's looking good. Starts off with the sky ball, kind of the flair you would expect from the consummate showman. And his big partner, Andy Benesh, starts with the stuff. Troy trying to take the mantle as the showman, perhaps with that shirt. He's got the Arizona flag in frayed cutoff form. And there should be a lot of antics and hijinks, and obviously some wonderful, wonderful volleyball here in this match. That one goes just long, however. Casey playing alongside Andy Benesh, filling in for Phil Dalhouser, his usual partner. Phil unfortunately had a medical situation, unable to be here. What a set out of the net that time from Casey Patterson. And a little early flare from the kid, the 42-year-old youngster. And that's what you love to love about him. The style, the neck movement, the pop and lock. He does it all. Occasionally he sides out like the world-class athlete he is. He's going to kiss the scoreboard. Any moment now we'll probably settle into some regular volleyball, but for now, the crowd likes to see the unusual, and that's what they've gotten thus far. Chase Budinger going with the top spin sky ball. Chase showing you a little glimpse of what makes him an unbelievable all-around athlete, scooping in the backcourt. That sky ball may be a nod to the recently retired Roger Federer with the top spin. Troy into the net there. Casey will go back to serve. And it looks like we have settled into what we're accustomed to seeing from these guys. One of the best jump servers in the world, Casey. Great arm swing, great mechanics. If you're a young up-and-coming kid and you want to study an arm swing, Casey Patterson is one to watch. So Troy and Chase will take a 4-3 lead into the first side change. Still not sure entirely what to make of that shirt Troy's got going. Showtime for Troy Field. Great play from Chase Budinger, lays it right up on top of the net. And Troy knows what to do with it. Just as he feasts, my feast of a partner joins the booth. Mark Sherman up here.
I completely forgot that I was doing this match on broadcast. I'm not kidding. My wife, Kim Smith, comes down there and is like, Mark, aren't you supposed to be on broadcast with Rich right now? I was like, yes, I am. And here I am.
You could sense me floundering and had to come save the day.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
The beginning of that match. That was great. Play the close ones. Both Troy and Andy.
Yeah, if you're going to get the buy-in for the around the world sky balls, you got to play the close one.
Yes. Troy looking like, you know what? Rocket Troy Field. Have you talked about that crop top much already? Is that what you've been focusing on for the first 8 points or so?
No, it's been hard to take my focus off of, quite frankly, yeah. I'm not sure what we call that. I think Troy pulls it off, certainly.
Sure, absolutely. We're statting him. We're giving him the stat. He got the block on that one, off the elbow. Yeah, what do we call that? I mean, the only thing that comes to my non-fashion-oriented mind at all is crop top.
Yeah, with the fraying.
With the fray?
Yeah.
Work it, Troy.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I really like the way you introduced Casey as the guy you love to love, because certainly that's the case, right?
Yes.
And Troy is actively trying to take over the showman mantle with that shirt, I think, in real time.
But do we love that shirt? That's still decided.
Well, Troy's a guy you love to love as well.
Gosh.
That shirt is
Absolutely.
up for debate.
Yeah, Troy is, he's so much fun. His attitude on the court, when he steps on there, he is there for a good time. I mean, he's an incredible athlete, obviously. He's got the skills to back it up. Look how high he just got. Oh, my goodness.
Well, we've been talking a lot about how jumpy this sand is, and our high flyers out there, Troy Field and Chase Budinger, being two of them, are really taking advantage of that. Coming up with some angles we're not even accustomed to seeing from them.
Yeah. And this sand, I mean, you've been down there. You've been feeling it. It's a little bit damp, right? Like it's almost like there's some moisture that just like never left that sand as they brought it into the stadium.
Yeah, well, I feel like as you know the days have gone on, we got some matches in. It is kind of like normalized a little bit. It's not quite as jumpy as it was yesterday as we got underway, but it's still pretty springy out there.
Troy after the ace, serving again, goes at Andy. We got 9, looking at 6. Andy Benesh scooped by Troy, and it falls in there. Casey thought it was going long, but it's a big kill, and it's 10-6 here in the 5th place match in Phoenix. Both these teams lost their first match last night. They're back here playing for 5th under the lights here at the Footprint Center. And oh yeah, Casey. That was a couple feet in.
Yeah, not really close, but you know, it is a different environment in here, so maybe you lose your bearings momentarily.
Depth perception a little bit different. You look up, you're sort of looking into lights you're not used to seeing.
The dimensions of the court are still the same though, so that's a little bit of a tough one to defend, but. That's a nice swing down the line from Chase. That's kind of not his customary swing. He's more of a cross-body guy tendency-wise, but he told me yesterday, I've had that one all along. I'm just waiting until my mid-30s to break it.
Oh, what a pass by Andy to keep it alive, and then Troy powering that one, keeping it over there. Little weight room.
Yeah, it is rare to win a joust against Casey. He's so good at it. He's so kind of long that he can almost be on the ground and still be shoving against you.
What is the key to a good joust?
Well, you saw there the reason Troy wins that one is he was able to come up with the second push.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see if we get another look at this one. This is of the one-handed variety. But is he able to hang there and give that last push? We're going to focus on his pinata shirt.
The back set, Andy Benesh going up and over. No chance for Troy to get to that one. As we're going to take our technical timeout, 13-8. Troy Field and Seba. Casey Patterson, almost 20 years on tour. His first event all the way back in 2003. Really got into his career around 2007. He's played in 112 AVP events with 23 different partners and 18 wins, including earlier this year in New Orleans with Phil Dalhouser. A lot of those wins too, Rich, coming like in the latter part of his career. Him and Jake Gibb, they went to the Olympics together in 2016. And from 2014 or 2013 maybe to 2016, I think they won 14 times.
Yeah. They were the dominant force from 2013 to 2016 leading up to the Rio Games. Without a doubt,
Just such a good offensive defender. You talked about how long he is, those long arms. He is such an asset. Because, you know, in the prime of Casey's career, like playing with Jake, it's like, who do you serve? You got two incredible attackers.
Well, Casey, one of the premier side-out players, and you know he didn't have the repetitions internationally that Jake did. So I think when they first teamed up and he went on the world tour, he saw a lot of serves, and people figured out very quickly that that wasn't a successful tactic for them to take.
Oh, the kiddos. Let's see. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those aren't all Casey's, but. Are they all there? 4 of them there?
You can tell the ones with the hair belong to Casey. Every 3 AVP victories or so, they have another kid, just by average.
Andy Benesh going straight down. That one just making it hit the tape. That is an angle you don't see very often. It's all right, babe. All right, Lexi, I got another one. I guess it's time.
That's Huntington, Manhattan Beach, and Hermosa. It's time to have another brother for Cash. Yeah, but going back to your original question about Jake and Casey. The combination of those two was so deadly because Casey is such a great offensive player. And then Jake, one of his many amazing skills was transition setting. So when he dug balls, Jake would put up hittable stuff in transition for him, and then he was so proficient at putting those away for points.
The long rally here. What a set from the backcourt by Troy Field. And a big finish by Chase Budinger. Man, that was so good. I know Troy is pointing at Chase, but that set by you, Troy, was spectacular. I mean, this is a long rally with a lot going on, and this set, the jumping back bump set. Casey and Andy keeping it alive. Troy is there, a chance to make it a 7-point lead, going windmill and getting it done, 16-9.
Yeah, that's one Troy likes to go to with some regularity. Yeah,
I saw him do it, you know, when he first came on tour, and I was like, okay. I saw him do it like twice, and it sort of caught everybody off guard. And I was like, is he doing that out of necessity because he was out of position, or what's it all about? And now he's actually turned it into like a go-to attack, like 2 or 3 times a match. Okay, with the left. See, Bud.
It's a couple consecutive plays now from Chase with his left hand, just showcasing his athletic ability, right?
We were talking, Haley Harward and I in the last match, about Gina going with her left. And players that have that ability to sort of go either way, and how it can really mess with a blocker, especially. You were a gold medalist libero for Team USA. In indoor, does anybody really do that? Nobody really fakes it, right? Because you're just gearing up so hard, you don't have time to switch left to right.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different game. You have less time and therefore maybe some fewer options as far as which hand you're going to hit with.
But as you're coaching Taylor and Taylor, and I mean, as a defender, you know, Taylor Crabb, does he say anything about seeing a guy switch from right to left? As we see the inside, off the inside of the block, Casey Patterson with the kill. Does it throw you off as a defender if a guy just switches all of a sudden?
Yeah, certainly it can. I think it throws you off as a blocker too, because your lineups are, you know, you're lining up based on kind of a guy's shoulder, right? And so if he hits with the other shoulder, your lineup is automatically
completely wrong,
different than what you're sort of expecting.
Right.
But I don't think people are doing it so much that it's, you know, massive cause for concern. It is quite impressive. I saw Gina doing it in our previous match, and it's really quite something that she can hit so efficiently.
With
so much pace.
Yeah. I always think of a righty hitting left. I always think of Rosie.
Yeah.
Sean Rosenthal was sort of forced into using his left after hurting his right arm, and then it just became just such a weapon. We got 17-12. That's going to be 3 straight points for Casey and Andy, though, to get back within 4, 13-17. We got a team timeout. Team timeout. The patented Casey whistle as they go into the box, coached by Brad Keenan. Brad Keenan with maybe the largest hands of anybody I've ever. Like his hand more than palms of beach volleyball. It almost like completely surrounds volleyball.
Yeah, he can touch his middle finger and his thumb around the
ball. Yeah. You still got time to get your picks in, everybody. Bally Play. Go to ballyplay.com/AVP or scan that QR code, the AVP predictor on Bally Play. You got 6 questions to answer. If you get them all right, you could be going home with a couple of AVP Optics Wilson volleyballs signed by all the champions here in 2022. It was a season of parity for both the men and the women on the AVP. Lots of different winners. Didn't have a repeat winner for the ladies until, well, the very last one, Taryn and Kristen. They got the win in Austin. They finished it off with Chicago, and they're looking to really bookend it with one here in Phoenix. Try and Trevor for the guys eventually took over after a slow start to the season. They got the win in Fort Lauderdale and 2 in Manhattan Beach and Chicago to get 3 on the year. And there is the amazing Lexi Patterson with the newest addition to the Patterson family. Now 5 kids, and Lexi, as Casey will let you know, the all-star of that family.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was hoping that they were going to, that's baby Ford she was holding, right? I was hoping they were going to paint his head like a Wilson Optics volleyball.
That's what Casey said, right? That's what I was expecting, yeah.
Get into the vibe a little bit here. Phoenix, kid, come on.
Man, what a family. The Pattersons, the kids, like you say, they like to doing the hair like the dad.
Yeah, how can you not? Could you imagine if that was your dad with that kind of flow?
Oh. Troy Field pressing over. Man, he's getting so high off the sand. 19-13.
I know we've been harping on that shirt, but does he look extra jacked in that thing?
He does.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he wore it. Actually, and it's sort of wearing on me. I think now I think it fits him. Now I get it. Jump set from Andy. Seba with a chance to get it to set point, and we're going to tackle each other.
It's a 3rd and 9.
I don't know what happened.
Let's check this out again. Okay, good dig. Good set, and then Troy just sort of runs backwards.
Yeah, that looked like there might have been some facial bumping there, though, so hopefully everyone's okay.
It looked all right. It looked like Troy thought that Chase was coming inside.
Yeah.
So he was going to come in front of him to attack that ball. Nice pass from Troy. On to Chase. And it is set point, 2014. Troy and Chase.
Make a set point here in set number 1.
It's interesting. They're still keeping that option play as part of their offense, even with Chase on the right side, because they have switched sides for this tournament at least.
Sky ball on set point. I don't think that's going to quite make it.
I got it. Oh, you got it, sir. Good job.
15-20, we'll switch sides.
Switching sides, 2015, still set point.
I love how we weren't sure if Chase was going to sky ball. He had me tricked. I didn't think he was going to do it. He would never live that one down, though. And he got a point. Well, after Andy passed it. That pass goes into the net. Perfect set from Chase. And Troy with the finish, 21-15 in set number 1 for Troy Field and Chase Budinger. Chase and Troy, Casey and Andy, it has been a fun one. It is a real good atmosphere. These guys having a lot of fun playing some high-level volleyball.
The passion, the excitement, the story, the journey. We all love the game because of these things and so much more. Across the world with different backgrounds, different techniques, different skills and strengths, different cultures, they all work toward a common goal, an achievement that can never be taken away. No matter how or when you found the sport, the past has shaped the present, and legacies and journeys all lead to Holyoke, the birthplace of volleyball and the International Volleyball Hall of Fame, where the milestones and excitement aren't lost to the passage of time. They're captured and celebrated. Where the moments last forever, icons are immortalized, legacies are engraved on the wall, and legends never fade. Join us to honor the past, to celebrate the present, to look to the future. Who will be next?
Who cares? Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome back inside the Footprint Center. As down on the court, the tug of war is just ending. That was a pretty good one. That was a lot of people on the court for tug of war. Look at the Valley set one stats. 21-15 for Troy and Chase. The hitting percentage, there's a big difference. 571 for Field and Budinger.
Yeah, digs too, 10-3. That's those two stats in and of themselves are going to give you quite an advantage. You have that much disparity between your team and your opponents.
It's the 5th place match here in Phoenix. Troy and Chase get the win in set number 1. And you know what? It really is a match of celebration for that guy, Mr. Casey Patterson with the Swab Hawk. That thing is beautiful today, too. I mean, what a career for Casey Patterson, announcing that this will be his last event in just a legendary AVP career. And Andy Benesh getting the honor to play with him. And there is the Patterson crew. Yes, we're matching. Yep, you're on the big board.
It's been amazing to kind of see his kids grow up, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been out here doing it for so long, the entirety of their lives, of course.
Cash and Baby Ray, seeing her grow up to not really being a baby anymore, but still called Baby Ray. The newest baby, Ford. Casey gets the first kill here in set number 2.
When your dad has a Swab Hawk that's that beautiful, is there a hairstyle that you can go, hey, Dad, I want to do this with my hair, that he can possibly say no to?
Yes, whatever you want to do, son or daughter. Absolutely. '18-time winner. Was a team of the year a few times with Jake Spiker Gibb. Scoop. Another dig by Chase Budinger. Andy Benesh. Look at the big guy laying out. Andy and Casey for 2.
Another left-handed stab from Chase. I mean, we see that a lot from Phil, right? The left-handed pokey pole dig.
Yes.
Chase really incorporating that well here, even though they don't come up with that one.
Love to see Andy and Phil playing together when they won back in Austin. Getting to see Andy and Phil both play defense, and Phil's a good defender. Phil's an all-around. I mean, he's the best player that's ever lived. Like every skill.
Yeah.
Every single skill.
Yeah. If you're trying to conserve words, you're much better off trying to talk about things he's not amazing at.
You just wouldn't start talking.
Oh.
That'll work. Look what I found.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Best to be both.
Troy going with the new theory that sometimes it's better to be flashy than legitimately stylish.
He is succeeding at that. But like I said, it's wearing on me. I don't know. It's like it doesn't bother me at all anymore for some reason. I don't even blink at it.
It's one of those things, if you do it with confidence, you convince people, right? And he's
Yes.
certainly doing it with confidence and kind of has the personality to go along with it.
Speaking of a confident personality, Casey Patterson. He's gone through phases. He went through a pop and lock phase. It was all about getting out there and dancing. He stopped dancing quite as much. He still breaks it out every once in a while. But it sort of went from like pop and lock to now swab hot guy. And all while playing at the highest of levels. What a scoop. With a tight set though, and Chase is going to take advantage of that. They'll switch sides, 3-4.
A couple great layout digs. Andy a little disappointed that he overcooked that bump set. But Casey really feeling it a little bit on defense. They would love to push this to a third, obviously.
We would love to see it.
Any tennis fans out there who watched Roger and Rafa Nadal play that match last night, you know, it's crazy to kind of watch your heroes and so forth come to the end of their career. You know, it's bittersweet, right? Because you get so much enjoyment out of watching them play.
Just like that.
Nothing but enjoyment out of the wide open net feast from Casey.
Free ice cream.
That is one that he coined, right?
What a cover by Andy to keep it alive. And then, yep. Troy's just like, well, I'm just here, just in case. On to. Oh, yeah. Casey laying out.
Go ahead, Casey.
Don't you pull on me. What are you doing, Chase?
You're going through the whole repertoire.
He gave me 2 in a row. Perfect.
Free ice cream, and what are you doing? Don't pull on me.
In my first year on the AVP, announcing in 2015. It was against Casey and Jake. Somebody hit a ball. Jake had pulled, and I said, "Don't pull on me." And DJ Rouchet sort of nudges me. He goes, "I wouldn't say that when Casey's on the other side of the net. You can say it with somebody else if Casey's not playing, but if Casey's playing, you can only say it if Casey does it." I'm like, "Okay, yep, got it, understood."
Well, it's been kind of interesting to see that
Got
evolution,
it.
right?
Great, yeah, totally.
Where, I mean, Casey was a little bit Trevor Crabbish at the beginning, right? With kind of the antics when you're that young, brash guy that rubs people
the bravado, and it's like, does he really have the game to back it up?
Right. And then when you kind of put together the career that he's put together, and you've more than backed up your, flash and your chatter and all that kind of stuff, then it takes on a different meaning. It takes on a different feel.
And you also, if you ever see him off the court or talk to him, like, you realize it's all for, it's just his personality. Right. He just likes to have a good time. He's not, I mean, he's sort of doing it for show, but it's like, that's just who he is. And he just loves to have a good time. He doesn't have a, I mean, I was gonna say he doesn't have a mean bone in his body, but he doesn't have like a jerk bone in his body. You know what I mean? He's not doing it to try to, like, get in your head or be in your face or be that guy. He's just having a good time.
So you're saying he's the direct opposite of Trevor Crabbe. He doesn't have a...
Hey, Trevor's a good guy. I like talking to Trevor. I mean, come on. But yes, Trevor has definitely continued in that sort of bad boy realm on the court.
Well, yeah, and Case was never the villain this time.
Boy, that's a big swing.
I figured out what Troy's shirt is. I think he's advertising for guitar lessons, and those are those little peel-off tabs that you grab with his phone number.
Well, a few might be falling off. Maybe only a couple have been taken, though. He is getting decent at guitar.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He's had a lot of time, he said, to practice. Real story. Waiting for the first Spotify single from Troy Field. Andy. Man, Chase has had a lot of bigs in this match. What did he say?
He said, bring that expletive deleted. And then Casey chopped it right down the line on it.
Oh my gosh, look at the rip in that shirt. Did you see it, like, all the way up the front? No.
Well, yeah, because a couple of those tabs fell off, and I think it just kind of continues all the way up. He's going full Hulk Hogan on us.
Will Troy be wearing a shirt by the end of this match?
I want to say I hope not, but then that sounds weird.
You can say it. That's okay. I get it. Casey having a good time here in his last match, his big send-off here in Phoenix. The controlled block, pretty good set, about 6 feet off the net or so. Chase puts some pace on it, but Casey is there. Chase, another dig. Andy will take care of that. It looks weird. It's two hands. Looks like it's not allowed, but it is allowed. Still a blocker.
Yeah, that's one of those glitches in the matrix of beach volleyball rules, where everything's got to be so clean, except that play.
Except
and then
that.
You can kind of Dominique Wilkins double clutch slam a jamma.
That's the official name for it. Dominique Wilkins double clutch slam a jamma. Yep. I love it. And for a while, okay, the trickler. Listen, if the net's going to be nice to anybody in this game, it better be Casey.
I just love that you can hear his hooting and hollering all the way up here in our broadcast booth.
Even with our headsets on.
Yeah.
Casey's there. That's an easy one. To go up by 3, C-Pack over the top of C-Bug. It's 11-8.
And to me, that's textbook. That's kind of classic Casey Patterson, that low load and wrap up over the top. And he does that so well. He's so long already, and so he can really navigate any block, even one the size of Chase Budinger.
625 hitting percentage, 5 kills on 8 attempts. For Casey Patterson here in set number 2, 9-11, 1 point to the Tech. Ooh, Ooh, that just dropped. That bottom dropping out of that serve. And talking to Kane Shaw yesterday before first matches were played, Kane was saying the bottom is just dropping out of these balls way sooner than we're used to. Something about the atmosphere here in Footprint Center.
Yeah, I think it's got to be like the swirl of the air conditioning or something, because it's a symptom of playing indoors.
Right.
I remember there was a tournament in The Hague over in the Netherlands a few years back that was indoors, and it was the same kind of thing.
That's where
sort of
Alex
standard.
Kleinman in April got that win in her first event. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, and I remember that sensation that just sort of standard float serves would just kind of dance a little different and fall out a lot. Because you don't see the standard, like, standing float serve ace with these AVP balls very much, right? They fly so true, and kind of they're relatively easy to track anyways.
Casey Patterson, the culmination of a career here in Phoenix. Not only a couple decades on the AVP, he played indoor at Brigham Young University, played professionally in Puerto Rico for a few years, also over in Sweden. But he knew his game was on the beach. A lot of amazing partners over the career for Casey Patterson. Played with, of course, Chase Budinger, who's on the other side of the net right now. Another guy in this event. He's played some with Theo Brunner and Brad Keenan, who's coaching him for this match. Of course, with Phil Dalhauser, the partner he'll be most remembered playing with, Jake Spiker Gibb. Troy Field, windmill, and we're going to check the mark. Yeah, it's just a bit outside.
Windmill got away from him a little bit there.
Yep, a little windy.
So for me, that's kind of what Troy has to sort out to take him to the next level. Is that line between showmanship and making the play itself, right?
Right.
Like, it's great to do the showy thing as long as you execute, but oftentimes if you kind of have that mentality, like, I'm going to do the showy thing first, and you make mistakes here and there, it can be frustrating for not only you, but your team as a whole.
Almost like make the showy thing a reaction, not a plan.
Right, right.
Casey ripping away right up the gut.
That was a nice look at something that on my team, whenever we were playing Casey, we referred to as smooth power.
Okay.
Everything looks so smooth. It's kind of deceptive how much pop he gets on that ball because everything's so technically sound, right? So it doesn't look like, you know, it's kind of that slow is smooth, smooth is fast kind of a thing.
It's not like an aggressive in-your-face huge windup or anything.
Yeah,
it's
you see Taylor Sander go up and his whole body torques and whatever, and you go, yeah, it makes sense that that guy's destroying the ball. But Casey kind of looks so smooth, and it gets on you quickly because that smoothness generates power.
Deep angle, it's out of bounds long, and it's all tied up again, 13-13. The culmination of a great season here on the 2022 AVP Tour here in Phoenix at the championships. This is the 5th place round match. Tight sets. Andy gets it over and puts it in, well, the one spot he could put it.
Literally the only spot that was going to go down as Chase was breaking towards that line. You got to love this format, right? I mean, for all kinds of reasons, but especially in this circumstance, Casey gets to know exactly, like, this is I get this match and this is my last match, right? You know, a normal tournament, it might end abruptly and you might not know.
Because here, if you lose anything before the finals, you know you're going to get to play again for 5th or 3rd. And if you make it to the finals, well, obviously that's your last one. Yeah, that is pretty cool. It's a great point.
It was great for us as fans of his for so many years, and I would think that it's great for him to kind of be able to put all his energy and focus.
Overall hitting percentage in this match. Still a big advantage for Field and Budinger because of the big win they got in set number 1. But we're even now, 15-14, 1-point lead for Field and Budinger in set number 2. Anybody's ball game. That rip getting a little bit bigger, inch by inch.
Yeah, speaking of rips, I love that Andy swings so high.
There it is. The crowd starts chanting, "Take it off." And Troy obliges. Oh.
He is jacked.
Yeah, he is.
He's got kind of that dark Hulk Hogan when he went NWO here too, and he delivers after the shirt rip.
Listen, everybody, for Rich Lamborn to say somebody looks jacked, then you know it's real. Because Rich Lamborn, you were jacked.
Well, I can't do what these guys can do out on a volleyball court anymore. So,
keyword anymore.
Well,
because you did it for a long time.
It's debatable that whether I ever could. Certainly not what these guys are doing on the sand.
If you're just joining us, where have you been? Also, my name's Mark Sherman, alongside the Olympic gold medalist, Rich Lamborn. And look at that young lady. She is beside herself.
I mean, I've seen elation turn into tears of joy before, but that was kind of next level. That girl, I think, was, as you said, beside herself.
Now I'm just looking for Casey to rip his shirt off and toss him into the crowd, too. One time, Casey, why not? Casey and Andy Benesh with their coach, Brad Keenan. Brad Keenan, the head coach of the beach volleyball program at Arizona State University. Of course, him and Casey know each other real well from Brad's playing days. They used to play together. And now a proper send-off here in Phoenix. 16-14, 2-point lead for Field and Budinger. Troy Field continuing to keep the crowd on his side. He is very good at that, getting the crowd on his side.
If you're a fan of volleyball, though, you got to be rooting for the Andy and Casey comeback here. So we see a third set.
15-16, Andy Benesh out of Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Didn't pick up volleyball until, I believe his sophomore year of high school. He didn't even touch a ball. And then he became real good real quick. USC recruited him pretty hard. Middle blocker for the Trojans. Okay, back off the head of Chase, the joust. And something's being called. I didn't see the call, so I thought the play was still going. It's going to Casey and Andy. The crowd doesn't like it. Did you see what happened, Nick?
I think there was a whistle, but I don't know what the call is because it didn't look like anything was out of line there.
No, and then they started pointing up.
I guess they're calling a double on Chase.
Next contact, just before, and that's why I went over to John first. That's why I hesitated. I went over to John. I thought you had it first, and I checked with him. He had it as well. You got it just before he did.
Yeah.
Is what I had.
So that's what it is, right? Scuff
Yeah.
off Chase's head, and then he contacted it again before Andy got to it. So it's a double on him. Here we go.
Got it. One contact, and oh, I don't know about that.
Wow.
Yeah, so if it's simultaneous contact, it's a joust, no problem. If Chase had got it first, then it's a double contact. And the crowd, after seeing the replay, letting the refs know they might have missed that one.
Not a lot of rain here in Phoenix, but raining down booze right now after that call.
To keep the lead, Troy and Chase, 17-16.
I am here for any officiating errors going the way of Andy and Casey.
100%.
So we get extra volleyball
Absolutely.
from our guy.
Speaking of our guy.
with the chuckle.
Casey's got a guy of his own, one of his 5 kids, with wife Lexi Patterson, Cash, Guy, baby Ray, Blake, and the newest, Ford. Here in set number 2, Casey looking like he shouldn't be retiring. 7 kills, no hitting errors for the one and only Casey Patterson. Troy Field, 18-17. 10 out of 10 on that one.
It feels like crunch time, Mark. I don't know if it's official or not, though.
You know what? It is official. It's official. It is officially crunch time. Not going to triple over. Only Casey gets the triple aces in this match.
Rightfully so. But they do need to come up with 1 or 2 here. They want to extend this and give us all what we want, what we deserve.
Troy on 2, never mind. Oh yeah, Casey's there. All over it. Andy, hello. The controlled block becomes a set, becomes a kill.
I think Casey's got so much control, he slapped that off of Troy's hands perfectly.
Yes. Give the assist to Casey. What a turnaround from Casey and Andy here in set number 2, from hitting 105 to up over 400 hitting percentage in the second. They take the lead. Oh, are you kidding me? Wow. And the jumbo to boot. That was nice, Troy.
Just a, hey, look what I found with the right paw.
You go. Okay, fine. Here, I'll pass it.
Kind of interesting that Chase and Troy have gone with the split blocking formation, and you mentioned it. Chase digging a bunch of balls.
Yeah. Chase looking at the referee, thinking he should have called that set on Casey Patterson, but how dare you, Chase?
How dare you?
You do not call a borderline set on Casey Patterson in that moment.
Andy would love right now to close this set out with, our boy Geeter called it a Muskegon tree stuffing when they were in Michigan. I don't know if it's a Phoenix clamp here or what, but not going to get it just yet.
Going into overtime in set number 2, 2020. Casey Patterson, he's going to be dug. This could get it to a match point. Field close. Oh, what a dig. What a dig.
And that is patented Casey Patterson as well, the control with the tomahawk. Some of the best control with that particular play that I've ever seen. I mean, he seems to never miss with that.
And he also had to put it in the place for Andy to hit that time. Like you said, just perfect control.
On a spinny ball off the block, I mean, you know, just a phenomenal touch there.
We're going to switch sides. I thought Andy might have been there with that right hand, but squeaking it, looked like under, maybe off the right pinky, and getting it down 21-21. Nice play by Troy.
And wherever it was, he sure didn't have a lot of room.
Nope. I wish when I went up to block, somebody could squeak it under me. Not a good pass. It's 22-21, and it is match point. The ace from Chase Budinger.
Well, that's kind of an overlooked storyline, as it were, right? Is the pressure of playing alongside Casey for his last match.
Totally. Come on, Casey.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my gosh, what a turn.
We're getting the full Casey Patterson experience, because the no lookie down the line is another one that he goes to a lot.
Not a single hitting error for CPAT here in his set number 2, his final set number 2 of his career. 23-22, another match point coming.
Troy is just elevated and doing some wildly athletic stuff.
Yes.
Conversing with random people in the crowd, as he does.
As you do.
There it is again.
Yep, 2 in a row.
If you're a volleyball fan and you like talking to the players mid-match, this is the match for you. You got Troy, you got Casey. If Ed Ratledge were out there.
Ed will go full conversation, like, and then like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm serving. Okay. At the last second, Chase taking a look, finding the open court to earn match point number 3.
Andy's going to have a little talk with the up ref about that first set. Looked a little spinny.
listen, you can't call that on Casey, but you can call it on Troy or Chase in this match.
Oh, goodness.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Goodness.
Oh, off the dome. The dome of the defender. He gets the bomb from DJ Rouchet. That was special.
Wow, indeed. It's crazy because that doesn't hurt in the slightest when it hits you on the forehead like that. It can barely touch you in the nose and tear your eyes up and all that.
Casey's there. Oh, there's that control with the tomahawk. Yeah, Casey. Come on, kid.
It just felt right after detonating off of Chase's forehead.
And you know, when you swing high and hard like that, it really opens up the front of the court. Taking a timeout here. Last team timeout of set number 2. Troy not sitting down.
I'm always a little curious as to what the dialogue is when you just kind of join forces for one tournament.
Right.
You know what I mean? I guess there is kind of a common volleyball language that we all speak to a certain extent, right?
And he's known Brad for such a long time. He's one of his, one of his 23 partners he's had in his AVP career.
Brad's going, have amazingly long arms.
Yep. Okay, check.
Check.
Done. Not as long as mine, but check.
And Casey is standing reach of 8'9".
Oh.
Yeah. Which is kind of what makes him such an impressive transition player, right? Because as soon as he gets up, he's already, 9 inches above the net, right? And then you add his world-class vision into that, and that's you get the player that is Casey Patterson.
The block, it's out of bounds. 25-25. We're all like, we're going 3. No, okay, not yet. It's fine. Now listen, we usually don't actively root for or against any team on the broadcast. This is the situation where we do. Sorry, Troy. At least to go 3.
We're rooting for it to go 3, yeah.
Oh, laying out.
That's a great shot from
it. Is, yes. Almost a spectacular dig, but a real good shot. 26-25.
Yeah, again, kind of the only spot it looked like he could put that was out of the reach of Troy Field.
Casey serving to go 3 in his farewell match, and we are going 3.
The Phoenix clamp down.
Yes.
Well, that just felt right, didn't it, Mark?
Absolutely. I mean, come on. And that's no fluke either. I mean, Casey had some. He had 2 no-lookies, 2 no-look cookies in overtime. He had he bounced one off of Chase Budinger's head, who was the defender. Look, you see a lot of times you get a kill off of the blocker's head, but not the defender. That means that thing was coming in hot.
Yeah.
And then he just rips away in the sharp angle. Casey Patterson had 11 kills in set number 2 on 17 attempts and 0 errors.
The great ones find another level, don't they?
Absolutely. 647 is what that works out to for Casey Patterson hitting percentage in set number 2.
That's pretty good.
Decent. That'll play. That'll do. I want that guy. I want that guy on my team.
Well, now it's kind of anybody's ball game.
Sure, absolutely. Now, Casey Patterson, one of the most legendary grinders on the AVP tour in the world of beach volleyball. Won his first match in an AVP main draw in 2008. It was his 20th AVP event, including playing through the qualifier. And it took until that 20th event to win his first match. He kept at it. He kept going. He's a guy who just got better and better the longer his career went. He had his biggest winning streak with Jake Spiker Gibb. 5 straight wins on the AVP Tour, 27 matches in a row, spanning 2014 and 2015 seasons.
Yeah, they had kind of an aura of invincibility there for quite a while, too. It just seemed like they were showing up to tournaments to collect their hardware, and everyone else was playing for second, you know.
We talked about leading into their Olympic run in 2016. From 2013 through 2016, they won 13 AVP titles. And they led the tour in wins in all 4 of those seasons.
Yeah, one of my favorite Casey and Jake moments, but mostly, you know, this pertains to Casey, is when they won Manhattan Beach. They were playing Try and John Hayden, and it went down to the wire. I think it was 16-14. And he immediately goes to the box that had OB and Stoklos and, you know, just the legends of the game, right? And kind of revels in it with those guys who knew how important and how big of a victory that was. It was so awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Troy, offensively real good all match long, over 500 in sets number 1 and 2. 1-1 here in set number 3. We're playing to 15 for 5th place here in Phoenix. Farewell match of Casey Patterson playing alongside for the first time Andy Benesh. Taking on Troy Field and Seabud. Great shot from Troy, going way up there, off speed at the last second.
Yeah. I mean, just, you know, you're high up in the air when your line shot is, your palm's almost facing the sky because you have to cut it like that.
Yeah, in order to get the right trajectory on it, you're basically literally facing the roof.
Yeah, they're like the bartender with the tray of drinks. Yeah.
Here you go.
Casey Patterson back to serve.
Casey serving 2-2. He was the best player on the court in set number 2. He's been the best player on the court a lot of times in his career. Can he keep it going and win his final match? Oh, yes. The one-arm bandit. Another. Okay, Troy. 3 digs for Casey Patterson in this one.
Oh, my goodness.
Troy Field. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous is right. I mean, that surprised Casey and Andy as well.
Oh, my gosh. Casey, what a layout. He got another one with one arm. This was Troy's first dig back over the net. And that one would go down somehow. He had 4 phenomenal digs in that rally. Casey's like, really, man? Come on.
That's kind of all you can do is chuckle.
Three.
Andy's so good at taking big, high, hard rips. Really sets up those soft line shots for him.
Andy with the jump floater. On to Troy, but Casey is there. One arm dig, left arm of Troy Field. Pretty good set, or maybe a little bit tight. Troy has to go with the left. Little no-looky reverse pokey from Andy. The dig by Casey, won a rally. And that'll get to the floor from Troy Field.
I'm not even sure what we're watching at this point, Mark. There's one-arm spears everywhere. On 2 plays, running around the back. Up is down, night is day.
But it's good, too. They're like good plays. It's sort of like, I don't know, this reminds me of watching sitting volleyball in the Paralympics. And of course, we have an amazing sitting volleyball team for the women. It's like these quick reaction plays. You know what I mean? It's such a smaller court. It's so quick. That's what that reminds me of. It's always like one arm, because that's sort of all I have right now. And we're working with what we got. And it's real fun to watch. Tomahawk control. Casey. Yes.
So smooth. I was going to liken it to Whose Line Is It Anyways level improv.
Totally.
You got Ryan Stiles and Wayne Brady out there just improv masters.
Yes, anding back and forth. Oh, that's a turn. That's an angle. Chase Budinger.
Yeah, again, that swing away from his body is kind of not his normal swing, but he's so high up, he just turns his whole entire body out and tees off.
We got 5-5. Men's 5th place match. 3rd place matches are to follow. Yes. Andy to keep lead. This one will go down.
I like it was subtle, but Casey took a look there when Andy passed that overpass just to see if he was going to do something sneaky.
Do I have anything open? Is there anything open on 2? Nah. But we're going to be ready for that now. I like it. I want to see a Casey on 2. A little back set.
The back set?
Just
yeah.
the turn, square up, back set.
He's not afraid to turn the knife a little bit if he gets the opportunity.
Back and forth we go. In set number 3, 6-6. Sort of like all 4 of these guys, like a little more serious now than the beginning. You know what I mean? Like we want to win this. We're having fun. Casey's last match, sure, real fun. You know, it's the 5th place round, but like we want to win it.
That's kind of the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
It's good to get out there and whoop it up and have fun, but at the end of the day, these guys are all world-class competitors, and it's not blanks and giggles, that word that we heard Troy say earlier.
Great set from the deep court. The left hand, the tool. No, it's in there.
That did catch sideline.
Yeah.
That was awesome for Andy and Casey, and unfortunate for me because it's a reminder that I need to go get that LASIK checkup.
Yeah. Didn't you? Like I did not see that hit the line. No. Have you had LASIK?
No, I have not.
It's amazing for me anyway. I don't know if we're allowed to recommend medical procedures on the broadcast, but it worked for me.
Have you had a colonoscopy? Because it was amazing.
7-8 in set number 3. Crowd loving it. Had a lot of showmanship, especially at the beginning of this match. All 4 of these guys going with the sky balls. A couple of them were out, but they played them anyway just to have some fun. The crowd was super into it.
Even the crowd settled in here a little bit, right?
So, yeah, totally. Well, because they're realizing it's like it's in sort of that serious mode, right?
Yeah.
And the crowd hasn't really picked a side in this one, too, because Troy has been engaging with the crowd so much. They love that. But also, it's like such a special moment for Casey that you got to root for Casey, too.
Yeah, you find yourself just wanting to see good volleyball.
Yes.
Our producer reminding us it's an emotional roller coaster.
Saying that in the most deadpan way possible, though.
Yeah, and I don't know what you mean, Mark, when you say it's like being married.
Yeah, okay. Kim, I did not say that. I did not press the mute button and say that. Where does the roller coaster take us next? Oh, what a cover. Okay, man, so many of those tomahawk control digs. That Cobra? The Casey Cobra? Troy with the finish.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity there for Andy and Casey, of course, because that overpass, and he's got to be just a little more aggressive with that, I think. Right here,
yes.
I mean, you just tee off on that.
The Cobra. What was the Cobra? And the ace to tie us at 10. First time I saw Casey do that, I was probably maybe just out of high school. And I'm like, that looks like it really, really hurts. And then I sort of started to do it.
Yeah.
And it's super fun, and nobody ever expects it. So I like built up the calluses on the tops of my fingers, and now it's a thing.
Can you do it with both hands?
I can only do it with my right hand because I can do nothing with my left hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is a little bit fascinating to me.
With Phil, that was Casey's 18th AVP title. And then it was about halfway through the year, Try and Trevor figured something out. Got 3 of the last 4. They're not going to be making it 3 in a row, though. Miles Partain and Paul Lotman, the winners of the Atlanta Gold Series. Man, Miles Partain looks incredible in his 2 matches this weekend. He is dialed in. And I can't wait to see him play in the finals against Taylor Sander and Taylor Crabb. Casey Patterson out of the timeout. Troy Field back to serve with the lead, 11-10. And up into the big ball. The big ball just off the corner, bottom right corner of your screen. The giant AVP Optics Wilson volleyball. That swing went off of Troy, off the big ball, back onto the board. 11-11, French fries on the board. 18 kills for Andy Benesh. Love the French fry signs. Oh, the Sand Club here in Phoenix doing me a solid.
It's fascinating how often we get to that score too, so we get to break out that sign.
Yes. It's been like an inordinate amount today too.
We've seen a lot of 3-setters, right? We went all 2-setters for the first 4 or 6 matches of this tournament or something?
Yeah, 4 last night, 2 this morning, and then we had a 3-setter in the first men's semi. We had a 3-setter in the second men's semi. The 5th place match for the women went. It was a straight set, but it was a great match.
It looked like we were going 3, right?
Yes.
And then Sarah and Zana just stole it right
Stole it at the end, yeah. We got 12-12, first to 3, wins this one. What a dig! The scoop and deliver from Casey Patterson.
And that's something that he really, like once he joined forces with Jake and became a full-time defender, he really got good at that play right there, digging the hard-driven ball, just standing there, taking the heat. You see there's no flinch. He just kind of uses his body to make that angle. And then we've talked about him knowing what to do with the set and transition.
15 kills, 16 digs, and a couple aces. Casey at the line, 13-12. That one's right up the gut in the seam. Troy says, "You're not digging that one, buddy." 13-all. Somebody will have match point after this point.
Maybe used a Caseyism against Casey there. Never twice.
Troy almost at the 500 mark for the match. Boy, what a play from Troy and Chase, getting a little love off the net. It's match points for Field and Budinger.
Troy back to serve.
What do we call that hip movement? That was, you know, if you watch the recent Elvis movie or something. What a Phoenix wiggle.
Troy and Chase, we're going to do that one again. We were fixing the line.
The guy mad down there trying to induce the foot fault, maybe?
Yep. Man, how about this? Casey, the entertainer, playing in his last match. And look at the guy on the other side of the net, maybe passing that baton. The entertainer, the young one, Troy Field, getting the crowd into it at the end here with the slow clap. But we're not done yet. 14-14. It'll be Andy to serve.
I'd love to see Andy get another one at the net here.
If they get match point, I want to see Casey rip his shirt off. And they get one last scoop and deliver. That is, oh, that's in there.
Just caught the outside of the sideline, it looked like.
Match point number 2 in set number 3 for Troy and Chase, and that is it. Troy Field and Chase Budinger, 16-14 in the third. They'll take home 5th place. But yeah, Troy's pointing the whole crowd at Casey Patterson. We are witnessing the end of the career of one of the best, one of the favorites around the USA, around the world. 112 events, 18 titles for the Casey Patterson.
And you can see the love and respect that his competitors have for him. You know, it's awesome to see Troy out there working up the crowd on behalf of Casey. And he got a standing ovation. This is just awesome.
My goodness, what a career to witness. So thankful that we were able to, Rich.
I'm not sure if I'm emotionally equipped for Roger Federer and Casey Patterson all in one weekend. And Serena, I mean, you know, you get to a certain age and all the good ones, all your heroes, eventually have to retire. You know, all good things must come to an end, unfortunately. And Casey Patterson in his volleyball career is certainly not only a good thing, but a great thing.